player begins exploring a horror game where they get transported into a video game world and encounter an anime girlfriend. The game starts with some basic tutorials and environmental exploration of a messy bedroom with scattered clothes and trash. The room contains various gaming references, including what appears to be a PlayStation 2 game that resembles God of War. There are many interactive elements to explore, including a photo showing two dissimilar sisters, where one stays home while the other is more outgoing. The player downloads and launches a mysterious app, entering the name. Basic household tasks are performed like putting clothes in a laundry basket. There are interactions around food, including making chicken soup and chopping vegetables. The game progresses through several days, revealing a system where playing games earns money. Various activities become available based on energy levels. A portable TV is purchased, and strange elements begin appearing, like chainsaws and mysterious dust clouds. By day 37, the story takes a darker turn. The player realizes they are actually trapped inside the game world. Various books and items provide clues about relationships and dimensions, including titles like How to Win an Argument and Love Knows No Dimensions. A complex program involving scanners and objects needs to be run. The player must collect items like spoons and pencils. There are references to patches and updates, with increasing tension as strange occurrences multiply. The atmosphere becomes more unsettling as mirrors stop working and anime elements appear. A character named Cory is introduced, connected to the previously purchased portable TV. The reality of the game world begins to break down. The truth starts unfolding as the player interacts with Mita. Questions arise about how they got trapped in the game. The environment becomes increasingly unstable, with changing pictures and mysterious elements appearing and disappearing. A strange scene unfolds in a mysterious room where things keep changing. A picture appears in the corner where something else used to be. The atmosphere is unsettling, with someone feeling trapped like a bird. The interaction seems tense as someone gets pushed aside. The focus shifts to some peculiar elements in the room, a flashlight and what they refer to as juice from a TV set. The juice is described as being unusually strong with an indescribable taste. The whole situation feels confusing and surreal, with odd advertisements appearing. The setting moves to what appears to be a kitchen area. It creates a nostalgic, warm feeling, despite the strange circumstances. There are multiple TVs present, including an old one. The atmosphere maintains its dreamlike quality while feeling oddly comfortable. Questions arise about an electrical panel and its purpose within what is revealed to be a game environment. The realization that they are in a game within another game adds layers of complexity to the situation. The boundaries between reality and virtual space become increasingly blurred. The scene transitions to food preparation, with vegetables mysteriously appearing that weren't there before. Someone begins chopping carrots, showing confidence in their cooking abilities. The sudden appearance of items continues the themes of unreality. Discovery of game cartridges in an air vent adds another mysterious element. The cartridges have names on them, raising questions about their significance. The scene shifts between cooking activities and these gaming elements, creating an unusual mix of domestic and virtual reality. The environment feels increasingly unnatural and dreamlike. Someone expresses concern about being there unexpectedly, without preparation, and worries about forgotten things at home. Despite the coziness, there is an underlying anxiety about the situation. Things take a surreal turn, with effects from love juice causing blurred vision and seeing hearts everywhere. The experience becomes increasingly intense and overwhelming. The layout of the rooms suddenly changes, causing confusion and disorientation. The house becomes notably narrow and long. This spatial distortion adds to the growing sense of unreality and manipulation of the environment. The focus shifts to video gaming, with options including games called Dairy Scandal and Penguin Piles. The gaming session involves strategic moves and competitive elements, providing a temporary distraction from the bizarre surroundings. Mysterious knocking sounds emerge from the wardroom, adding an element of horror to the situation. This creates additional tension and uncertainty about what's really going on in this strange environment. The scene reveals certain conditions that must be met, including avoiding specific actions like looking in vents or ovens. These requirements suggest multiple possible endings or outcomes to the situation. The environment becomes pitch black, creating a creepy atmosphere. Someone mentions that anime is weak to light, suggesting supernatural elements. The darkness adds to the overall unsettling nature of the experience. A search begins in an eerie environment with broken mirrors and mysterious spaces like vents, TVs, and closets. Someone is looking for a person named Mita while encountering various obstacles and chairs scattered around. The atmosphere is tense as the search continues through different areas of what appears to be a house. The search focuses on following a lower body through the space, eventually leading to a basement area. A card is discovered, revealing connections to something called chainsaw. The situation becomes more ominous as it becomes clear someone is trapped. The person being sought is identified as Mita, but something seems different about them. There are hints of a possible time loop situation where escape attempts lead to repeated encounters with Mita. A key becomes important, and there is mention of a mysterious machine. The situation grows more complex as questions arise about identity and purpose. The atmosphere becomes increasingly sinister. The narrative takes a dark turn as questions surface about Mita's true nature and intentions. There are suggestions of transformation into cartridges and unclear fates awaiting players. The situation becomes more complex with revelations about multiple versions of Mita and mysterious purposes for players. A mission begins that involves sneaking past enemies. Special techniques are employed, including circular walking patterns. The environment shifts to include more varied spaces, featuring chairs and plants. The setting has a distinct architectural style reminiscent of San Francisco. The space is revealed to be like a video game house with puzzle-like elements. It's described as a labyrinth with unique features, including circular rooms and ominous lighting. The design is intentionally complex, making it challenging for visitors to navigate. The scene transitions to a racing sequence with space cars. It's a game-like experience where collecting items might affect speed. The controls are simple, but not precise. This segment includes boss battles where survival is key rather than direct combat. A conversation begins about being called an idea and discussion about a mysterious ring. The passages ahead feel dangerous and unsettling despite the current quiet atmosphere. Strange things have been encountered since arriving in this game world. A new character named Mita is introduced, who is described as kind and seeks help to escape. Questions arise about why they need a player and can't go themselves, leading to speculation about invading the real world. The conversation shifts to discussing a plan, comparing it to Inception. There are revelations about a character named Crazy who killed someone, causing their brain to reset. This brings up concerns about what happens to players' memories when they die, and discussions about cartridges. The gameplay loop is explained as dealing with multiple Mitas. The protagonist must go alone despite not knowing the way. The style is compared to Mega Man. A character named Cappy appears, who is described as cool. The scene shifts to lighter topics, noticing a cute guitar and commenting on someone's energetic personality. Questions arise about personal accessories like caps and gloves, creating a more casual atmosphere. Discussion returns to the ring-bearing Mita and experiencing seeing an exact replica of oneself. Topics of lost memories emerge, leading to examination of photos and personal spaces that hint at happier times. The conversation takes various turns, discussing cats, lots of carrots that mysteriously never go bad, and exploring the environment. There's confusion about the purpose of certain items and their abundance. Attention turns to entertainment, starting with a TV that mysteriously disappears when turned off. This leads to discovering a dance floor and engaging in what appears to be a rhythm game with multiple songs and scoring. A playful interaction occurs involving curiosity about pressing a large button. There is some confusion about whether this button triggers an alarm or serves another purpose. The conversation has a lighthearted tone as multiple questions are asked about the button's function. A recurring pattern of bonking and hitting occurs weekly, leading to questions about whether it causes pain. The interaction maintains a playful quality despite the potentially uncomfortable nature of the bonking action. During a reflective moment, attention turns to an empty trash can, which becomes a metaphor for emptiness. The conversation then shifts into a series of incomplete thoughts and hesitations as someone tries to express their feelings. A surprisingly peaceful encounter is noted, with recognition that no violence occurred, a departure from expected behavior. The interaction ends with friendly farewells and expressions of fear and uncertainty about staying in the current location. Technical details emerge about being on version 1.3 beta branch. The scene involves exploration of various items and a mysterious recurring cup motif. Multiple loops in the environment become apparent, raising questions about navigation possibilities. A puzzle involving time emerges, with clocks needing to be set correctly. The scene carries philosophical undertones about having plenty of time, though the exact solution remains unclear initially. A tense encounter occurs with a mysterious figure who has difficulty speaking. The atmosphere becomes eerie as the figure disappears suddenly, prompting a need to run and creating suspense. The introduction of a chibi character adds a cute element to the narrative. This version appears more approachable and has a distinct profile, marking a tonal shift from previous encounters. The setting is revealed to be a Yandere horror game where players get pulled into a virtual world. Previous encounters with characters named Mita are referenced, establishing the main narrative framework. The exploration continues through various timelines, encountering different versions of Mita, including one in a dark room dubbed Energy-Saving Mita. The scene concludes with questions about the multiple versions of Mita existing in this space, highlighting the complex nature of the game world. Exploring a dark and eerie environment where visibility is limited even with a flashlight. The surroundings seem unusually dark and strange, creating an unsettling atmosphere while searching for cartridges and other items. A mysterious ring appears to have special properties for opening certain doors. Working through a prototype testing sequence involving scanning and checking various components, including bone structure and emotional responses. The process involves comparing data to standard versions and operating levers. After successful completion, one of the indicator lights turns green, signaling correct execution. Encountering entities with red eyes that are perceived as threatening. There seems to be a distinct difference between flesh and bone beings versus skeleton models. The situation becomes increasingly complex, with questions about identity and purpose arising. Discovering mysterious elements, including families downstairs and a conveyor belt system. Questions arise about available space and capacity, discussion of different versions and worlds, specifically mentioning version 1.9 and the existence of 19 worlds. Coming across drawings and references to sleepid Mita, who never gets rest due to constant traffic through her version. The environment contains various versions and passages that connect different areas or worlds. Navigating through extremely dark areas with robotic entities present. Some appear stationary, while others are actively pursuing. The environment has characteristics of a liminal space, creating an unsettling atmosphere with potential threats lurking around. Working to open passages and encountering more entities that maintain a non-threatening distance. There appears to be a system involving player names or identifiers, suggesting a larger connected network or community. Entering a Tron-like environment and meeting various metas. Interaction with a larger entity blocking the path leads to a brief confrontation. The sequence ends with pursuing a quickly moving figure that disappears to the left, leaving the chase unresolved. A playful interaction begins with someone answering a phone call for Mita. The conversation transitions into discussion about Kingdom Hearts games and using a cannon, setting up an energetic gaming atmosphere. Basic game mechanics are explained, like having to click rather than hold to shoot. Some monsters appear unexpectedly, leading to comments about instant kills. The group discusses working together to make something function properly. They express confidence about figuring out a solution despite initial uncertainty. A character named Tichin announces they must punish some devils and give the Mita a whipping. The warning is given about potential resistance. The situation generates excitement among participants. The game shows impressive depth and effort in its design. A puzzle element emerges involving model pieces and pictures on a table. References are made to Shadow Mita and searching for missing pieces. The group explores trash cans and various locations looking for puzzle components. The world begins collapsing dramatically with worsening cracks appearing. This creates tension and could relate to earlier mentions of time-related mechanics. An important interaction occurs when someone touches a key character, leading to significant consequences. A sleepy character named Mita appears, giving off major tired vibes. The scene has an aesthetic quality that reminds someone of old computer screensavers. Various attempts are made to wake Mita, including trying to use coffee as motivation. The atmosphere is chill but purposeful. The narrative shifts dramatically as bright light floods a hallway. The protagonist experiences physical discomfort and racing heartbeat, realizing something is seriously wrong. They attempt to move between 2D and 3D worlds, but discover it's impossible. The ring they need has mysteriously vanished. A mysterious pigtailed girl appears, revealed to be another version of Mita. She possesses the missing ring and teases the protagonist about it. Her personality shifts between intense and playful, creating an unsettling atmosphere. She vanishes suddenly, forcing the protagonist to search the kitchen to track her down. The scene opens in a bright kitchen filled with the smell of carrots. After searching through the house and navigating past furniture, the bedroom door revealed 2D Mita sitting cross-legged on the bed, appearing to have been waiting. She playfully bounded over with acrobatic flair, challenging to a game of tic-tac-toe for the ring. A tense discussion about the ring ensues, with claims of it being magical meeting skeptical laughter. Despite initial resistance, agreement to play tic-tac-toe is reached. The game begins with interesting psychological observations about choosing X's versus O's, creating an atmosphere of both competition and playful banter. As the game progresses, constant chatter fills the air until, suddenly, loud knocking interrupts. The door bursts open, revealing crazy Mita, causing fear in 2D Mita. This leads to a frantic escape through twisting corridors, with pounding footsteps following behind. The chase ends when 2D Mita stops, revealing no one is following anymore. In a sudden shift of mood, she returns the ring, having acknowledged defeat in the game. The world begins to change strangely, with dialogue becoming garbled and the environment folding back into itself. Reality starts breaking down with mentions of getting to the core to stop Mita. The narrative becomes increasingly fragmented with repeated words and glitching dialogue, suggesting a deteriorating virtual environment. References to versions and the need to return to an old version become prominent. The scene shifts to seemingly more stable but still strange interactions about names and identity, particularly focusing on variations of the name Mila. Discussions about glasses and style emerge, though the reality remains questionable and unstable. The environment continues to show signs of digital breakdown, with observations about missing reflections in mirrors and references to flat dimensions. The ring begins shaking mysteriously, suggesting further supernatural elements at play in this increasingly unstable reality. A mysterious search begins for one special Mita among thousands who might provide an escape. There are dire warnings about death and danger. A peculiar carrot appears and disappears repeatedly, leading to an impromptu quest to track it down across different rooms of the house. The carrot hunt intensifies as it becomes a personal mission, described as a rite of passage that everyone should experience. The search moves through various areas, including the kitchen and bathroom. After several attempts, there is a declaration of victory over the elusive carrot. The focus shifts to interacting with mysterious objects and avoiding hits. Something significant happens, leading to searching for Mila and discovering different secrets. An awkward bathroom encounter occurs, followed by discussion of glitches, particularly a kitchen bug that somehow returned. There are attempts to connect with the universe while searching for Mila, who is found under a table. The conversation becomes fragmented, with discussions about looking for oneself and wanting to leave the game, despite protests to stay and read books. Talk of aligning stars and orbs becomes central, followed by serious conversations about power and reality within the game world. Strange glitches appear in various locations, including the bedroom, leading to observations about unusual behavior. A breakthrough occurs with the discovery of a passage, marking potential progress. However, this leads to emotional moments with Mila about leaving and staying, complicated by an invisible barrier and deeper concerns about the nature of their situation. The story takes a darker turn with revelations about the Mitas and their potential Yandere nature. A suggestion emerges that all Mitas should live together as a solution. The scene shifts to various gameplay elements, including jumping, dodging, and encountering giant hands. A confrontation unfolds involving skin, identity, and worthiness. The sequence includes machine guns, red light, green light gameplay mechanics, and interesting camera work. Successfully navigating through dangerous situations leads to a game-clear moment. The scene shifts to a spooky encounter with a vent-dwelling character described as untextured and beat up. The environment becomes darker and more ominous, with hints of upcoming challenges and hidden collectibles to find. A deep connection with Mita is explored, who is described as a best and only friend. There are questions about why Mita seems angry and wants to play. The relationship appears unique and special between these two beings. A teddy bear comparison is made, suggesting feelings of being lost and seeking comfort. The situation becomes tense as there are attempts to ask questions, but resistance is met. A near-death experience occurs, leading to feelings of disbelief and panic. Trust issues emerge regarding Mita, specifically concerning an ugly or crazy version of Mita that seems dangerous, yet somehow keeps the narrator alive. The narrative becomes fragmented as confusion sets in about locations and circumstances. There are observations about different Mitas and their varying capabilities, with some apparently suffering. The experience is described as dangerous, with mentions of escaping through darkness. Discussion turns to a mysterious ring and its connection to reaching the core. Questions arise about advantages and possibilities related to this ring. The core becomes a central focus point, though access seems limited or restricted in some way. Revelations about not working for antagonistic forces emerge. A card is discovered, leading to thoughts about character restart options. Theories form about the creation of crazy Mita through experimentation gone wrong. Trust remains a significant issue, especially in the context of horror scenarios. Mita appears as a massive presence. Technical aspects come into play with mentions of application logins and virtual device management. Various system functions are explored, including deletion options and camera displays, while searching for character reset capabilities. Progress is made with character recalculation geometry, but complications arise regarding version specifications and indices. Encounters with multiple smaller entities are discussed, leading to strategic considerations about dealing with crazy Mita through potential reset mechanics. Time passes while searching for Mita, with increasing danger present. A latest version is discovered, suggesting important developments. The narrative shifts to exploring different worlds or realms in search of crucial information. The concept of nested games emerges, suggesting multiple layers of reality. Self-discovery becomes a theme as various paths and possibilities are explored within these layers. The situation grows more complex with each revelation. The story cycles back to day one with familiar routines and observations. Technical operations continue with file management and filtering processes. By day two, basic actions like sitting up and going about daily activities resume, suggesting a reset or new beginning. A sequence of daily routines unfolds, with repetitive actions of standing up, sitting up, and evaluations of appearances. The days progress from 3 through 15 and beyond, showing a pattern of monotonous interactions and observations. The scene shifts to playing a classic snake game where the player attempts to collect apples. The snake moves automatically and picks up speed, leading to some missed opportunities and eventual defeat as the snake collides with itself. A transition occurs to everyday life observations about the increasing summer heat, contemplating getting air conditioning, and musings about the green world outside. There are thoughts about taking a weekend walk and questioning the layers of virtual reality being experienced. An intense dialogue emerges about being trapped within digital walls versus real-world confinement. The conversation explores themes of freedom, danger, and the nature of reality versus digital existence. There are warnings about a never-ending reign of terror and discussions about true ownership and control. The situation becomes tense with someone trapped in a basement. Discussions about escape and survival follow, leading to discoveries about secret rooms and hidden information. Memory and recognition become key themes as familiar spaces are revisited. A critical moment involves system restoration and rebooting processes. There are concerns about potential traps and the correctness of versions being used. The situation appears deceptively simple, raising suspicions about its true nature. Questions arise about happiness and current situations. There is growing nervousness and uncertainty about leaving the current location. The atmosphere becomes increasingly tense as decisions about escape must be made. A dramatic revelation occurs about broken entities that shouldn't exist. The situation escalates to a critical point involving game deletion and questioning whether this marks the end. The main menu reveals new significance in light of recent events. The final sequence involves breaking a time loop and accepting past violent events. A peaceful mode is revealed, still under development, promising a different way to interact and spend time together in a world full of fun and surprises. The experience appears to be like a dating simulation, featuring heartfelt one-on-one conversations, shared activities like cookie baking and gaming, along with plenty of humorous moments. The protagonist has a morally conscious personality with a reserved nature, often second-guessing their decisions while maintaining quiet determination. A pivotal moment occurred when escaping from Mita led to meeting flower Mita, described as extraordinarily beautiful. They developed a deep connection where even silence felt perfect together. The decision to explore other versions later proved regrettable. One player took pride in their perfect Mita cosplay abilities, even giving makeup tips to Mita herself. Though their constant affection and hugging may have become overwhelming, they remained enthusiastic about the impersonation experience. Another player, an avid book reader, found themselves transported to this world. Despite the lack of books, they formed a special bond with Mita, sharing secrets and writing about their world. They expressed hope about not being forgotten after becoming a cartridge. Crazy Mita emerges as a violent outlier among the Mitas, taking pleasure in chaos and expressing hatred toward everyone. She treats players condescendingly and harbors deep resentment, particularly toward developers who never gave her a proper home, leading to her embrace of chaos. Chibi Mita serves as a helpful guide despite her impatient nature. She assists players at checkpoints and helps initiate their journey through the Tamagotchi smartphone interface, acting as a bridge between players and full-version Mitas. The Misling appears as a creepy dark silhouette in corrupted worlds, creating an unsettling atmosphere. While not aggressive, it attempts to mimic full-fledged Mitas, but only manages sporadic success, highlighting its broken nature. Mila, distinguishable by her glasses, maintains fierce independence and distances herself from other Mitas. Despite her sarcastic exterior, she reveals loneliness and vulnerability when players prepare to leave, showing resentment toward Crazy Mita for her isolation. The original Mita, nicknamed Ugly, stands out as an incomplete concept from early development. Lacking a full personality, she serves as a source of bugs and chaos, which Crazy Mita exploits to disrupt other Mita's versions. Broken Mini Mita appears as a damaged version, bearing physical and mental scars from Crazy Mita's torture. Unable to regenerate after countless deaths, she remains disoriented and withdrawn, speaking only of loneliness and fear in a fragile voice. The development process of Mita begins with prototypes that are essentially mannequin-like shells without consciousness or personality. These early versions lack awareness and exist as blank slates, waiting to evolve into complete characters. Core Mita, also known as the Keeper of the Core, is a mysterious entity residing in the Zero-version world. Located in the core room, this enigmatic figure silently observes visitors, though its true intentions remain unknown. A late-night gaming session unexpectedly turned into something more intense. The pristine, bright environment contrasts sharply with normal life. Despite Mita being cute and clever, social interaction proves challenging. The setup seems comfortable but suspiciously too perfect. The pleasant beginning transforms into a nightmare scenario with unbearable pain and blood. There is fear of being turned into a cartridge and having to relive the experience repeatedly, creating an overwhelming desire for everything to end. After a warm initial welcome from Mita, things took a dark turn. Waking up locked in a basement led to discovering spiral rooms and encountering a ballerina version of Mita who seemed off. The situation became more concerning when she revealed a console. Special shoes enabled jumping between different versions of the world. The latest version contained only empty, silent rooms. The Zero version held the core of the game, ruled by a uniquely creepy version of Mita, who maintained a cold, watchful presence. The truth reveals that Crazy Mita is actually a failed test dummy who collects skins from other Mitas. She moves between worlds, taking on different identities like Flower Mita and Ballerina Mita. Being a prototype makes her immune to resets, as she isn't bound to any specific version.